Hello, I'm Hank Merrick,
And I'm Harrison Barnes.
and we'd like to welcome you to the Wellness for Life podcast.
All right, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about, we'll get into it. This is probably a very controversial topic. Might hurt a few people's feelings, but we got to get into it. So the people, around January, they get the motivation to want to start and go into the gym, change their life, new year, new me, stuff like that. Why? Why is it that after a few weeks of training, not even a few weeks, maybe just a couple of days, why is it that they just stop? What is it?
Oh, man.
Why do you think that is?
I tell you, man, boy, this has been a subject amongst trainers for as long as I can remember trainers even existed. Let me unpack it. Okay. A lot of people say that they need motivation. A lot of people say that they need discipline. A lot of people say they need these things. I'm not exactly sure how people are motivated by a specific month.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really quite understood that. I guess a lot of times people, they understand that they're not living necessarily the way they want to. And I think it kind of falls under a lot of New Year's resolutions that I'm going to start working out and eating better and taking care of my health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not that much different. A lot of other New Year's resolutions, people come and they quit. Like, people quit everything. It doesn't matter if it's martial arts or any type of class teaching you gardening or, people just generally sticking to something is tough for people.
Yes.
I think a lot of people come into it with different types of expectations, like, okay, it's a new year, so automatically I'm going to think differently.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, the house is the skin that you live in.
Right.
If you have a negative attitude and your priorities are not right, being in January is not going to change your life. You're not going to just change your life because of a day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are under, they're a little delusional.
Right.
Because they really feel that you can work out for a week or 2 weeks or a month or a couple of months and turn your whole life around,
mm-hmm.
when you've treated your body like trash for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And then you want to come into a gym and put it on a trainer to fix all of that
mm-hmm.
in a matter of a month or 3 months, when really you're really working on here, and that takes as long as it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't necessarily put a time limit on it. I've had clients come in that just couldn't figure it out. And then after 6 months, it clicked.
Yeah.
This is what I need to do. Why am I not doing this?
Right.
And then they went all the way.
Mm-hmm.
All the way. Top notch physiques, bodies, six-pack abs, the whole 9 yards. It took them 6 months to figure out why they were doing things the way that they were doing them. They were sabotaging themselves.
Yeah.
But it took them that long to figure out that they had issues with their behavior, more so, that had a lot more to do than just working out and eating right and doing some cardio. They had to get this
mm-hmm.
together. And once they figured it out, they went all the way with it. So you just have to understand delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
But most people are not into that. They don't want to invest time and energy and resources into anything that they can withdraw from later.
Mm-hmm.
People want stuff now. They want to lose now. They want to get strong now. That's why you have all of the people abusing steroids. You have people abusing weight loss drugs. You have people doing all these different types of things. Before there was Ozempic, people did cocaine, they smoked cigarettes, whatever it would take, amphetamines, whatever it would take to get the weight off as fast as they could, because they didn't want to have delayed gratification, meaning planning, working over a period of time to get the desired result. Everybody wants stuff quick. Everybody wants to be their best with no time invested, and nobody wants to be accountable for any of the bad decisions that they make. They want to blame this person, they want to blame this restaurant, they want to blame their parents for giving them bad genes, they want to blame their kid because the kid put weight on them when they was the one eating. The kid just in the baby. The kid ain't tell you to keep crushing food after they was here. They ain't stop eating. Your kid 5 years old, you still talking about baby weight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, no accountability. Zero accountability. Zero. So, it doesn't really matter what day, month you start. It's about how you finish. What's going on up here? Are you committed to it? Are you committed to changing your life? Because being tired is acceptable. Not feeling like doing it is being acceptable. Sore is acceptable. Not having it all for a workout, not being able to do your best at a workout is acceptable. Quitting, not acceptable. It'll never be acceptable. It's not acceptable to me. You don't just quit something because it challenges you. You don't just quit. You meet the challenge because it's too important not to do. It's that simple.
I agree. Going back to that mental piece, that is probably the hardest piece. Not even just in weightlifting. I think that's in athletics, just in everyday life. Some people, they're not mentally tough. So they just, when something gets hard, they just want to give up. Versus, saying, hey, how can I overcome this? What can I do? What are the steps I can take to overcome this and, be great and come out better on the other side? Some people just don't have that in them. And it's just, do you feel like that you're born with that, or you develop that over time? Like, what do you think?
Wow, that's a good one. I think some people are born with it because, you see some children and you see them playing or whatever, and they're a little tough. You can identify toughness in children. Like, they're going to go, if it's something blocking their way, they're going to try and climb over it. They're going to try and move it out the way. With some kids, they just going to look at it. If it ain't doing that, they just going to sit back. You know what I mean? They just going to chill, sit back, look around, focus on something else. Then some might make a move and it don't work and they can't get where they want. They're going to start crying. So I think that's some of it. Then you have some people raised in households whose parents is a little bit more on disciplinary and push. They're like, they're kind of like more like, my mom was like a sink or swim type of a parent. She was kind of a tough love parent. She's like, hey, I'm going to put you out there. I know it's rough, but either you're going to sink or you're going to swim. It's one or the other. You're going to make it or you're not. If you don't, that's fine. I love you anyway, but we're going to try this. You know what I mean? And if you make it, great. But if you don't, okay, we'll figure out the next move. But she never was one to be like, nah, that looks hard. Nah, we ain't doing that. She's going to let me try and support me and push me. And so that type of mentality of, all right, I'm going to try this, and see what I can do with it. Sometimes, like they say, nature or nurture, it's kind of nurtured into you, especially as a lot of kids, like the one, your friend we interviewed, his dad was a Marine, you're going to be raised kind of like, and so your parents a lot of times can kind of see that. Like, say, for instance, if you're a kid that's kind of a little bit softer or timid or not wanting, that type of disciplinarian is going to see that, and he's going to try and weed that out of them. Like, nah, you ain't doing that. They're going to continuously push them. So the nurture can get you there, too. So it's kind of a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It could be some are nature, some nurture, I think.
I do agree with that. So next topic, kind of want to touch this part. This is kind of like the social media aspect. Social media kind of runs the fitness world nowadays. If you think about it, everywhere you look, people on social media flexing, doing stuff, fake pictures, all this stuff.
Oh, man.
Like, do you feel like, I feel like it's kind of a lost art. Do you feel like people are really trending for themselves? They're just trending for the clicks and for the likes? Like, what do you think?
Oh, man. The fake training, the fake. I tell you what, man. I started fitness training people in 2002. Okay? No Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, none of that. It was a totally different environment.
Yeah.
Totally different. The only people that were interested in doing a bodybuilding show were people who liked to train anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Those generally were the people who were always in the gym. So they always were strong. They loved to lift. They liked to train anyway. So they were always more developed and more muscular and stronger. The bodybuilding was just the next level evolution of that. So when they went to bodybuild, now they're incorporating a diet and other things to make themselves lean, and they're changing their training up the sculpt and shape for a show. Once the internet came about, what happened was, in my opinion, was people got a lot more into what's seen versus what's going on. It was more about what I'm seeing versus what I'm doing, or what I'm projecting versus what I'm actually doing. So what happened was it became a shift. People started looking at bodybuilding shows, people started putting that stuff on the internet, and these great looking bodies on the internet.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have people saying, I want to look like that, without understanding the work that it took to get like that. Because they're not a part of gym culture anyway. They ain't work out, they ain't do. So they're skipping the steps of actually, because the gym has actual culture to it. It's not, it's for people who haven't been in the gym. If you go into a gym, it's a lifestyle attached to that. So you have people that are looking to be on the top of physiques, but never even lifted a weight. They don't understand what it takes to drink water, or have to drink a protein shake, or why you drink a protein shake, or why you might take vitamins, or proper techniques to keep from injury, or how to make certain things grow, or how to push yourself, or what it feels like to really be sore, or to push yourself away. You're like, whoa, I gotta sit down, I'm dizzy, you know. Those types of things, people have no idea. They're just looking at the internet and a picture like, whoa, that's amazing. I want to look like that. I want to do that. I can do that. And they're skipping a whole step of what it took to get like that. So they don't even understand the culture of it at all. Yeah. So you have people like that coming to you. They're coming to you, you take them through one workout, and they're looking at you like, dude, you're crazy. Like, I can't do this. You know, this is a lot. I'm like, but no, it's not. This is what is necessary to get you where you need to be, but you're not a part of the gym. You've never worked out before. So everything you're going through for the first time. So you realize you're skipping a whole lot to get to where you want to go, versus the process of developing yourself to get this focused around all the other things, particularly the stress of lifting those weights, because you have to grow muscle, and that hurts, and that takes consistency, and it takes time, and it takes the right diet. And if you're not used to doing all the things, you really got to learn how the discipline of all those things at one time, coming off of a couch, and it's just not an easy thing to do.
It's not at all.
And having a great body takes a lot. And being able to have a top-notch body and maintain it takes a lot. And it takes a lot of effort, and especially depending upon the type of genetics you have. Yeah. If you have genetics that don't allow you to grow size very easily, that means you have to work twice as hard, sometimes twice as often, and you have to eat better and more. And on top of that, take supplements just to get a small gain in an area where you might see somebody who's got genetics do that in a couple of months. It might take you 6 months, where this guy only took 2 months to see a difference. Do you have what it takes here to be like, you know what, I'm staying in my lane, I'm going to follow my coach telling me I'm going to stick it, and I'm going to do this way, or are you going to start complaining, well, I'm not there, start pointing fingers. Oh, it was this person's fault. I ain't do this, whatever. Cause no, were you listening when you first got there? You know, there's an old saying: if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your coach told you to do the first time.
Yeah, man. I like that conversation. It's really, really hot topic. You know, pretty controversial too. Some people may not like it, but I mean, you gotta hear it.
Well, thing about it is that like we said, people want to cut corners.
Yeah.
They want to get there because they're looking at the picture that they're seeing on the screen, but they're not looking at all the benefits that you get building yourself up to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Trust the trainer, trust the process, but there's a process of getting there. Don't think about the way you're going to look. Think about everything that it took to get you to that place, because everything that you learn to get you to that place is what you're going to need to keep you in that place.
Mm-hmm. So I like that. So what this is the last topic I want to cover. I kind of want to ask you this question for the people who started from the beginning. You know, we talked about why people are stopping after January. Why they stop in a couple of days, couple of weeks after January. What advice do you have for those people that are just continuous? They can't just stay consistent. What advice do you have for those people?
Man, consistency is a dirty little secret that undermines success. That's the number one goal. Surround yourself with people that support what you're doing. When I started bodybuilding, I had to basically sequester myself from my own friends, because all they wanted to do was watch sports on television and drink beer and eat pizza and whatever else. I love doing those things too. I'm a big sports fan. I love all those too. But at the end of the day, I knew that if I was hanging around them, I was never going to get to my goal. So have people in your corner that support you, what you're doing, and are going to help to hold you accountable. Understand that it's okay to mess up and get back on the wagon. You'd be surprised how many people quit just because they went out and partied. You know, let's say for instance they lost 10 pounds. They go out and party and kick it for a weekend or whatever, and they gain 6 pounds back, and they get frustrated and quit. It's okay. You're learning. You're going through the process of learning. Ride it out. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. If you're talking about making a life change, what difference does it make if you gain some weight on a weekend?
Right.
Going out on a birthday or something.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. You get right back on that wagon because it takes time in order for you to mentally incorporate all these things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The mind-body connection, understanding, I don't feel quite right. I know I had too much sugar. I know I don't feel right. I know I'm dehydrated. I know I had the alcohol the other day. I'm a little dehydrated. I need to get together. I need to get it done. I need more rest. I'm not recovering like I should. I know I need more sleep. All of those different things, it takes time. Mm-hmm. So give yourself that time. Quitting is never acceptable.
Quitting is never acceptable. You guys heard it. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Wellness for Life podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one.